Namaste everybody, welcome back to the Wealth Yogi channel. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about how you can improve yourself and become your greatest version very quickly. So before we get into it though, let's cue the show reel. So in this video, I'm going to be speaking about how you can become your greatest version, become your greatest potential very quickly with just 3 very simple strategies. Now, when it comes to become your greatest version, the first thing I'm going to share is all about understanding, first of all, what is your greatest version? Because sometimes we hear that concept of thinking, I want to be my greatest potential, be the greatest person that I can be. But then sometimes when we're not clear on who that person is, then our goals, our destination isn't clear too. So the first step is getting clear on who that person is, what they do every day. Make sure to write these down in the comments or on a piece of paper. What are the things that the greatest version of you does every day? Right? See that picture. What time do you wake up? How do you wake up? Where are you staying? What sort of things do you do? Why is this important? This is important because once we get a clear picture of exactly how we will act as that greatest person, just like when we say in the law of attraction, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So if you know who that person is, right, what they're doing every day, what they're doing every night, what things they enjoy to do, how they walk, how they breathe, how they do things in every moment, how they interact with people, now it becomes super clear of who that person is. Then in your mind, at first, it will be a simple case of, okay, where are the gaps between myself now and that greatest version? And then your question will be, how can I then narrow those gaps by in every moment, every day, acting as if I am that person, right? I want you to think about it now. Your greatest potential, your greatest version of yourself, do you breathe shallow or do you breathe deeply? Do you have a confident posture? Do you have a not so confident posture? What are some of these tweaks that you could do right now? Why? It's because now you are literally becoming your greatest version in this moment, which will do what? Attract more of becoming that greatest version in every moment. So that is step 1, is getting clear on who you are, who you want to be, and how that person, how that greatest version of you acts, interacts, and carries out every day. The second thing, right, the second step to this is all about being present in every moment. Now, I know some of you may have heard this before, maybe you've tried this before, but it's kind of a bit like, how am I going to be present every moment? How am I going to maintain this consciousness through every day, right? Some would say easier said than done. But this is a very powerful practice and a very powerful state to be in. Why? It's because if you think back to some of maybe the most challenging times that you've had, or some challenging times in your life, when you're in that moment and you're like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? You're playing this avatar. You're in this game and you're forgetting that there's a you who controls you, right? When you look at your hand and you are like, I want to move my hand, you're telling yourself you want to do something. But if we get caught up in thinking, oh my gosh, something's hitting my hand, something's happening to me, we get caught up in the game and we can't see as clearly. So if we be present and remember to be in this moment, why? It's because there's a very powerful state of being the witness of your life, being the witness in the moment. That way you're witnessing things and you can write this down, respond, not react. Right, something happens and you react, it's an instant knee-jerk reaction, if something happens, right? Maybe there's no control over how you want to act. But if you take a moment to respond, now you have the choice to act how you would like to. So that's why the second thing, all about being present in the moment, is super crucial, right? And one very simple thing that we can do is just simply taking a deep inhale, taking a deep breath, relaxing the mind, relaxing the body so that we can be in this moment to know what's happening around us and how we want to interact with the environment, which links back to point number 1 of how your greatest person, your greatest potential interacts with the environment. Now, step number 3, and this is probably the most powerful one here, is because every day it will allow you to get better and better. And if you think about it, even if it's just 1% better every day, over the course of a year, over the course of 2 years, 5 years, that's humongous. So this practice, and this is one of my earlier mentors shared this with me, was all to do with just before you go to bed, right? Just before you go to sleep at night, have a notepad, have something with you that you can write down. There's going to be 2 columns. right? Split your page into two columns. The first will say what went well. The second will say what can be improved. So what you're going to do here every night is the first column is just write down a list of everything that went well today. Maybe it's how you interacted with someone. Maybe it's you showed so much compassion, so much love, just as the greatest version of you would do. Maybe it was you struck a new business deal. Maybe it was when someone asked you for advice, you felt like you gave their most amazing advice, right? Write down everything that went well. Why? It's because now we're gonna log this into our mind, because I want you to think about this. How many times have you ever done something so amazing and then you kind of just forgotten about it? After maybe a week, a month, 2 years, a decade, you kind of forget that ever happened. But if we can log it into our conscious every day to realize, hey, I really enjoyed how I spoke to that person today. If anyone else interacts with me tomorrow, the next day, I want to interact with them just like that, right? Then we go through this list, we log it into our conscious, log it into our subconscious, it's there. We know, okay, going forward, this is how I want to act, this is how I want to be. This is the sort of stuff I want to manifest more of in my life. Now, the second column is gonna be you logging down everything that maybe could have been improved. Maybe you weren't feeling the best, maybe you're feeling a bit tired. Someone says something to you and you snapped, right? You knowing who your greatest version is would be like, hey, actually, my greatest version would have snapped. I would have been in the moment, been the witness and responded, not reacted. Maybe it was something whereby you didn't know how to, maybe you had an activity to do, maybe it was a presentation at work and you didn't do it the best, right? There were some things to improve. What were the things you can improve? What are the things that you're going to work on so that next time you have a presentation, that you'll be even better? All these things, and this will be super important because now it's a case whereby most people, what they do is they go through every day, not being present, not reflecting. Meaning that if you set a New Year's goal in January, then you don't think about a New Year's goal till the next January. You have one opportunity every year to reflect on how you want to be. Imagine if you had one opportunity every month to reflect on your goals, reflect how you want to be. Then that would be, instead of one opportunity every year, you'd have 12 opportunities every year. But imagine we take it one step further and we're like, no, not once a year, not once or twice a year, not once a month, not once a week, but once a day. We're going to check in with ourselves every single day to see what went well, what can be improved. Now, instead of you changing and shifting the same amount that you would shift 1 year later, you will make that shift in 1 day. So this is why, even if we think and we just say, you know what, even if it's just 1% better every day, the amount of growth that will happen will be unrecognizable. After a week, after a month, you won't recognize yourself again, right? You'll be improving so quickly, you won't even know what hit you. So this practice of what went well, what can be improved is super important when it comes to becoming your greatest version. Now we can see a whole list of things from today that we're like, hey, you know what? Tomorrow, I want to make sure that I have that in my what went well section. So to summarize, the 3 things are, in every day is knowing that who is your greatest version? What do you want to be? How do you want to act as your greatest version? Second is being present in the moment, witnessing, right? Responding, not reacting. And then the third thing is just reflecting every night before you go to bed. Write it down so it logs into your subconscious. Write it down, what went well? What do I want to carry on doing in my life? And then what can be improved? What are some of the things? Maybe the way I interact with people, maybe the way I carry out certain tasks, maybe the thoughts I had. Was it more negative thoughts? Was it more positive thoughts? How can that be improved? And then the next day, have that as your focus, knowing that this is how my greatest version will act. I'm going to act like them today. So if you got any value from this video, make sure to comment below. Let us know your aha moments, your biggest takeaways from this video. Also, if you like the video, you like the value, make sure to hit the like button so that we know what you're interested in, so that we know what more stuff that we want to give you guys. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you know every time we post our videos. We're posting 3 times a week so that you guys are up to date with everything to make this year, your next year, your whole life, your best life yet. And I will see you guys on the next Thursday videos. Much love, namaste.